Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy White. Thank you so much for stopping by. So today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this cowl sleeve you are seeing on your screen. So the first thing you need to do, you need to have your basic sleeve pattern. So I have my pattern here already that I'll be working with. So now you're going to determine the length of the sleeve you're working with. I'm working with a sleeve length of 24.5 inches. So I've taken the round sleeve measurement, the elbow measurement, and the wrist measurement. So you have to take all this down before you proceed with your slash and spread. So now at this point, we're going to be determining how we want to slash our pattern, the spacing in between. So I'll be using 2 inches for it. So I'm marking 2 inches. You see me marking 2, 4, 6, and I stopped at 8. So after doing that, I'm going to get my ruler and roll out the lines I have marked out. So I am done ruling the line. So now at this point I'm going to get my ruler. So I'm going to be connecting from the last line where I have the last line. I'll be connecting it to the elbow area, just as you see me doing. So I'm going to connect it because we're going to be slashing our paper now. So now I'm going to get my scissors and we're going to be slashing this pattern paper that we have here. So firstly, I'm going to be slashing from that last line to the elbow area. I'm not going to be cutting through. I'll just stop at the tip there. So this is it. So now, remember I told you we'll be using 2 methods of the slash and spread for the cowl sleeve. So you can decide to just go with the first method of just opening it, or you go ahead and slash the 2 inches lines that we have marked out. You can go ahead and just slash all the lines open and you spread it out on your on another pattern paper. So it all depends on the fabric you are working with, how much fabric you have. So when you are spreading your pattern this way, it all depends on the fabric you are working with. If you don't have much fabric, you can go ahead and go with the first method. So this is what we have. You go ahead and just spread it out and you determine what the spacing you'll be leaving in between. But I'm not going to be going with that method. I'll just go ahead and tape it down because I'll be going with this first method I'm showing you. So I'll just go ahead and quickly tape it down and we'll continue from there. So after taping it down, this is what we have. So I'm going to be getting my cowl sleeve with just slashing from that last line to the elbow area. So this is what we're going to be doing in achieving our cowl sleeve. So I'll go ahead and place my pattern on fold and I'll be placing our pattern on it. So after placing my fabric on fold, I'm going to be placing my pattern on it, just as you see me doing. So you can determine how much you want to spread your pattern. So you can control the fullness of the spread at this point. So I'll just go ahead and pin it down. As you can see me doing, I'm pinning my paper, the pattern paper on my fabric to avoid it moving around. So I'll quickly pin it down and I'll show you what next what to do. So at this point, you are going to determine the fullness you want for the sleeve. So you can control the fullness at this point. You can just play around it to know what you want for the fullness, for the draping. So I'm going to measure out what I want. So what I got there was 11 or 12 inches. So I'll go ahead and pin it down from that point. So you can decide to extend it to 15 inches. So it all depends on how much fabric you have or the fullness you want to achieve for your draping. So I'm okay with what I got. So I'll just go ahead and pin it down that way, just as you see me doing. So after pinning it down, I'm going to rule it from the tip of the sleeve. I'm taking it to the place where I placed my fabric on fold. So now I'm going to extend it. From that point, I'll be extending it with 2 inches. You can decide to extend it with more than 2 inches or 4 inches. All depends on what you want. You can just play around with what you want to achieve. So I'm using my curve to connect what I have from the tip to where I extended it. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out and I'll show you what we have. So after cutting it out, I added the seam allowance. This is what we have after cutting it out. So I'm going to use this to cut out the one for the second sleeve. So after cutting both out, this is what we have. So now at this point, before we start joining, we'll be taking out our pins. So but before we do that, I'm going to be notching the cap height area. Remember where we marked our 11 or 12 inches? So I'm making sure that it's correct. So I'm going to chalk it out again. I'll be notching that point because I'm going to be starting my sewing from that point. So I've notched it. Ensure you notch it so that you don't miss it. So at this point, we're going to be sewing down from this point where we notched. I'm going to take it to my machine and sew down using half an inch. From that point where I notched, that's 11 inches, I'll be sewing it down using half an inch. Then I'll come over to the side. I'm going to be joining the sides of the side of this sleeve using half an inch. For the sleeve hem, I'm going to be folding it. Allowance that was added, I'll just go ahead and fold it using the allowance. So look at it now. I've folded the hem and I've joined the sides. Can you see it? Don't forget to weave and notch the sleeve area, that point that has the curve. You are going to notch it. So now this is what we have for our cowl sleeve. Can you see how it is looking? So this is what we have. You are going to iron it out and notch the curve area there. So this is the round armhole that we have for our sleeve that will be fixing to our dress. So I'm going to get the dress I'm working with and I'll be showing you how we're going to fix this sleeve. So here's the dress I am working with. So I'm going to go ahead and pin down my sleeve on the round armhole. I'll just go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it down, I'll take it to my machine. I'm going to be sewing on it. So now you have to work with your pin. So it's best to drape this on your client or you drape it on the mannequin for you to have this cowl effect. So after putting it on, you are going to do what? Start pinning it down at strategic points for you to have this cowl effect. You pin it down and tack it. You pin and tack. You pin and tack. So this is what the sleeve is looking like. Can you see it, guys? So this is what our cowl sleeve is looking like. So if you find this tutorial helpful, please don't forget to hit on that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Like and share this video. Make your comment. Till our next tutorial, I'll be doing something else. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.